Have you ever wondered why it seems like time accelerates as we get older? Have you noticed that, with age, we begin to value the people and experiences that truly enrich our lives while gradually letting go of things or relationships that no longer contribute to our well-being? As we age, balancing relationships, energy, and the pursuit of peace can sometimes feel like a daunting challenge. If you've ever felt this pressure or wondered how to navigate these changes, this video is just for you. In the next few minutes, I'm going to share some transformative insights that have completely changed the way I live. We'll dive into how our relationship with time shifts as we age, why we naturally start to prune our social circles, and how loneliness, far from being something to dread, can become a source of strength. You'll also learn how to protect your energy and tap into the healing powers of gratitude and forgiveness. If you're on the lookout for ways to live a more meaningful and fulfilling life, no matter how old you are, then stick around. By the end of this video, you'll have a much deeper understanding of how to live with purpose, how to truly make the most of every moment, and how to finally embrace the freedom that comes from letting go of what no longer serves you. Trust me, the wisdom I'm about to share could be the shift you've been waiting for in your own life. So, take a deep breath, grab a comfortable seat, and let's dive into the lessons that time and experience have taught me. You're about to discover how to live life on your terms, with intention and clarity. Before we begin, if you're not subscribed yet, I encourage you to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss a new video. Your support truly means the world to me. And if you find this video valuable, please give it a like and share it so we can keep spreading these important lessons. If this video's topic resonates with you, please comment 1 to let me know. If it doesn't, feel free to comment 0 and share how I can improve and create better content for you. Now, let's jump right into it. The first aspect to consider is time, which is by far our most precious asset. Time isn't just something we lose track of. It's the essence of our journey, the one thing that we can never get back once it's gone. And isn't it fascinating how our perception of time changes as we grow older? Have you ever come across the powerful research from Harvard University that explores this? The way our relationship with time transforms as the years go by is mind-boggling and, in many ways, heart-wrenching. When we are young, time stretches out before us, endless and sprawling like a vast, open horizon. It feels like it will never run out. Days stretch into nights, weeks into months, and it all feels like a never-ending flow, with no sense of urgency, because we believe there will always be more time to do everything we dream of. But oh, how that perception shifts. As we grow older, that river of time starts to narrow, its current moving faster and faster. We begin to realize, perhaps a bit too late, that time is finite. Every second, every minute becomes a reminder of how precious life truly is. It's a profound shift, a shift in temporal perspective, as psychologists call it. It's a realization that every moment matters. It's the weight of this awareness that carries us into a new phase of our lives. We become more attuned to what matters. As we age, our brains begin to focus more on the present moment. There's a kind of serenity in that, a realization that the constant hustle to get ahead or achieve more isn't what brings us true fulfillment. We start to crave experiences that resonate deeply with our hearts and souls, not just things or achievements that fill our lives with empty noise. We find ourselves letting go of superficial relationships that leave us drained and seeking out those rare connections that nourish us, those that help us grow, those that fill us with warmth, love, and peace. It's no longer about collecting more things or checking more boxes off a never-ending to-do list. It's about savoring the small, meaningful moments that make life worth living. I've personally reached a point where I no longer want to be a part of shallow conversations or be surrounded by people who do not enrich my life in meaningful ways. I no longer want to live in a constant rush, filling up my calendar with activities that add little to no value. Instead, I've learned to appreciate the stillness, the quiet moments where I can breathe deeply, where the world slows down for just a moment, and I can truly listen to the soft sounds of life. It's in the golden light of morning that shines through my window or the soft rustle of leaves as the wind whispers. It's in the pages of a book that speaks to my heart more profoundly than any conversation ever could. These are the moments I treasure now, because they are real, they are meaningful, and they are mine. Time is not just a relentless ticking of a clock or the flipping of pages on a calendar. It's something far deeper. Time is a mirror, a reflection of our choices, our priorities, and the way we spend our lives. With each passing minute, we're asked, how do you want to spend this precious time? Who do you want to spend it with? Does this moment uplift your spirit, or does it drain you? These are questions that we don't always have easy answers for, but they're questions we learn to grapple with as we grow older. And as the years go by, we get better at answering them. We learn that we don't have to do everything, be everywhere, or try to please everyone. We can't afford to waste even a single moment on things or people that don't add value to our lives. This realization can feel limiting, but in reality, it's one of the greatest freedoms we can experience. It's the freedom to say no to what doesn't align with our values, to invest our time in what truly nourishes us, what fills our hearts, and what brings us true joy. That, in my opinion, is the greatest gift time can offer us. The awareness that each moment is a precious gift and that we have the power to decide how to spend it. Time, once fleeting, becomes a tool to live with intention, to savor what truly matters. And what could be more beautiful than that? The second phenomenon I want to talk about is what's called social pruning. As we move through life, this is a process that almost happens naturally, yet it holds such profound meaning. Think about it like a gardener tending to a tree, carefully pruning away the dead branches to allow space for new, healthy growth. In much the same way, we, too, begin to prune the relationships in our lives. But don't get me wrong, this isn't some cold or selfish action. It's not about cutting people off just because we can. It's a conscious, intentional decision, one that comes from a place of deep self-awareness and love. It's a choice made for our emotional health, our peace of mind, and for the sake of being true to who we are. When we're younger, we're often driven by an insatiable need to accumulate friends, acquaintances, and connections. There's a pull to please everyone, to say yes to every invitation, to be in every social group, to never miss out. We define ourselves by the number of people we know, often ignoring the quality of those relationships. But as we age, oh, how that changes. Over time, something powerful happens. Our priorities evolve, and so do the people we choose to spend our precious time with. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment one below to let me know that you are still here with me. I think that's the real turning point. Research shows that as we grow older, we become much more selective about where we invest our time, energy, and emotional capacity. And it's not just about being picky, it's about understanding that true satisfaction in life doesn't come from having hundreds of friends or acquaintances. It comes from cultivating a small circle of deep, meaningful relationships. I've learned this lesson in ways I wish I had known sooner because it's truly liberating. The depth of the connection we share with others is what gives life its richness and meaning, not the sheer number of people we know. Psychologists call this shift socio-emotional selectivity theory, and it's so true. As time becomes something more precious, we naturally start choosing to invest in relationships that nourish our souls rather than those that drain us. And honestly, this shift in perspective has been incredibly freeing. There was a time when I felt a strange pressure to always be surrounded by a crowd as if that would validate my worth. But now, I couldn't care less about the number of people in my life. Instead, I cherish the few who truly get me, the ones who accept my flaws, my quirks, and my vulnerabilities without ever casting judgment. These are the people who nourish me in ways I never imagined were possible. A deep, real conversation that touches my heart, a smile exchanged without the need for words, a moment of genuine laughter shared with a friend. That's what makes life so precious. And let me tell you, those moments are worth more than 100 shallow, meaningless interactions. This isn't isolation, not in the least. This is clarity. It's the result of years of life experience, disappointments, failures, and countless lessons learned along the way. It's not about withdrawing from the world. It's about stepping into it with a discerning heart, choosing wisely who we allow to be a part of our journey. You know, this choice isn't just an emotional one, it's a physical one as well. The toll that toxic or superficial relationships can take on our bodies is real. I can't even begin to express how liberating it's been to let go of relationships that drain my energy. Studies show that poor quality relationships don't just hurt us emotionally, they can physically harm us, too. Harvard Medical School found that these types of relationships can elevate stress levels, weaken the immune system, and even shorten our lives. But on the flip side, when we nurture deep, authentic connections, they improve our physical and mental well-being. We feel lighter, healthier, and more vibrant. And that's exactly how I feel today. I feel lighter and freer. I stopped chasing after relationships that didn't bring anything meaningful or positive into my life. I've let go of the constant need to please everyone. Most importantly, I've learned that saying no to people who don't deserve a place in my life is a saying yes to my peace of mind, my health, my happiness, and the kind of relationships that truly make life worth living. It's a beautiful, soul-enriching thing to choose yourself. The third important topic you need to know about is loneliness, which often represents a refuge and not a curse. Loneliness, often misunderstood, is something that, for much of my life, I feared with every fiber of my being. It felt like an overwhelming void, a hollow emptiness that whispered of abandonment, of being left behind. In my younger years, I saw it as the ultimate enemy, something to be avoided at all costs, something that would strip away the warmth of companionship and leave me in a cold, lonely abyss. But today, at 70 years old, I look at loneliness through a different lens. It has become less of a foe and more of a sacred refuge, a precious space where I can finally be true to myself, free from the expectations and judgments of the world. In my youth, loneliness was often equated with failure or misfortune, a curse, even. I feared it because I believed that being alone meant something was wrong with me. It's funny, looking back, how society feeds us these ideas. We're taught that a busy social life, surrounded by people, is the key to happiness. But as I've grown older, I've come to see the richness that lies in embracing solitude. Loneliness, when seen through the right lens, is not an absence at all. It's a space of incredible fullness, a place where I can listen to my inner voice, the one that often gets drowned out by the constant noise of life. That silence, it's sacred. It's in that stillness that I found a piece of myself that had been lost amid the hustle and bustle of the years. And I've come to understand that this silence, this solitude, is not something to fear. It is a profound gift. I can't tell you how much I wish I had understood this sooner. For so long, I lived with the idea that loneliness was something to be avoided, a state that signaled weakness or failure. But now, I realize that it's an act of self-love to seek moments of solitude. It is a deliberate choice to reclaim my peace, to reconnect with my soul. Loneliness, when chosen and embraced, is not isolation at all. It's an act of profound self-care. It's a moment to pause and reflect, to appreciate all the lessons life has imparted, and to plan for the next chapter with intention and clarity. There is a sense of peace that comes with spending time alone. Research even backs this up. A study from the Journal of Aging Studies revealed that older adults who spend intentional time alone, whether by meditating, reading, or simply walking in nature, experience a greater sense of inner peace compared to those who fill their time with social distractions. For me, it's not about seeking isolation but about nurturing my soul. A walk alone in the quiet of the morning, the soft rustle of leaves underfoot, fills me with a sense of connection, not just with nature, but with myself. Reading a book at my own pace, savoring each word, gives me a deeper appreciation for life. Even something as simple as sitting in silence, looking out the window, has become an act of mindfulness, a practice that brings me a calm I never imagined possible. But solitude has taught me so much more than just the joy of being alone. It has transformed my understanding of relationships. In the past, I may have sought companionship to avoid the feeling of being alone, to fill a void. Now, I cherish every relationship for what it is, a true, meaningful connection. I no longer feel the need to be around people just for the sake of it. Instead, I choose to be with others because I genuinely want to, not because I fear being by myself. This shift in perspective has made all the difference. The conversations I now have are more genuine, more thoughtful, and I feel a deeper connection with those I choose to spend time with. I've learned that true intimacy doesn't come from constant presence, but from truly valuing the time you do share. Loneliness, I've come to understand, is not a reflection of weakness but a sign of immense strength. It takes courage to sit with yourself, to reflect, to accept yourself as you are, imperfections and all. If there's one thing the years have taught me, it's that peace doesn't come from constant distraction or the noise of life. It doesn't lie in the crowd or in being surrounded by people. No, true well-being is found in those quiet, solitary moments, when you can look inward and find a sense of peace that no external force can take away. Loneliness, far from being a curse, has proven to be my refuge, my sanctuary, a space where I can grow, reflect, and ultimately find a deeper, more profound version of myself. And when you allow yourself to embrace it, when you open yourself to the possibility of being alone and discovering what's within, you'll find that the richness of your inner world is beyond what you could have ever imagined. It's a beauty that's all your own, and it's there waiting for you to explore. The fourth aspect we cannot forget is our energy. As we age, one of the most powerful lessons we learn is the undeniable value of our energy, something I didn't fully understand until I was much older. In my youth, I was convinced that I had boundless reserves of energy to face whatever came my way. I could tackle the most complicated situations, juggle difficult relationships, and power through long, stressful days without ever considering how much I was giving away. There was this unspoken belief that I could keep going, definitely, no matter how much I stretched myself. I took my vitality for granted as if it would never run dry. But the truth, which many people realize only as they grow older, is that our energy is not infinite. Over the years, I've come to understand just how precious and limited it truly is. It's a hard truth to accept, but it's changed the way I approach life. Now, more than ever, I am aware of the importance of using my energy wisely and conserving it for things and people that matter most. Have you ever walked away from a conversation or a gathering feeling utterly depleted, as if your soul had been drained of all its light? Or have you ever found yourself exhausted after spending time with certain people, like they had siphoned all your energy without giving anything back? It's an all too common experience, and it's hard to ignore. Some relationships, no matter how much we wish otherwise, only take, they never give. They pull from us like insatiable wells, demanding more and more without ever replenishing our spirits. But there are also those relationships, rare and precious, that lift us. They fill us with joy, excitement, and a renewed sense of vitality. These are the relationships worth investing in, the ones that nurture us and make life richer. And over time, I've learned that it's not selfish to focus on these. On the contrary, protecting my energy has become a sacred act of self-preservation and self-love. It's not about being cold or shutting people out. It's about being mindful and discerning, recognizing that I only have so much to give, and choosing carefully where to invest it. I've learned to say no to unnecessary drama, to avoid conflicts that won't lead to anything but further exhaustion, and to distance myself from people who take without giving anything in return. I've also stopped trying to please everyone, to fix things that aren't mine to fix, and to play the role of the fixer in relationships that simply don't serve me. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment 2 below to let me know that you are still here with me. Instead, I've shifted my focus to what truly nourishes my soul. I invest my energy in things that bring me peace, joy, and growth. A good book that opens my mind. A quiet walk through nature that clears my head and calms my spirit. A genuine conversation with someone who sees me, who understands me, and who makes me feel truly alive. And do you know what? Science backs this up. Research shows that our emotional reserves are limited, and that our brains have a finite capacity to handle stress and complex emotional entanglements. It's no surprise, then, that what we choose to spend our energy on plays a massive role in our well-being. Choosing to protect your energy isn't selfish. It's self-care at its most profound. It's a choice to love and honor yourself, to recognize that you deserve the peace that comes from being selective about where you pour your heart and soul. This realization has made me live more intentionally. I no longer see my time as something to be squandered or given away indiscriminately. Every moment I spend is a conscious decision, one that I make with care, mindfulness, and the knowledge that my energy is a gift. And let's talk about something else I've learned: gratitude and forgiveness. At the age of 70, I can finally say that true peace doesn't come from accumulating wealth or success. It doesn't come from chasing more or holding on to the things that we think will fill us. True peace comes from letting go of resentment, of anger, of all the baggage that weighs us down. I used to carry grudges like they were trophies, thinking that if I held on to my pain, it somehow protected me from further hurt. But all I was doing was burdening myself. Carrying anger is like carrying an invisible boulder on your back. It bends you, it tires you, and it slows you down. For years, I asked myself why certain people had hurt me or let me down. I replayed situations in my head, wishing things had turned out differently. But what I've realized, and what I wish I could have understood sooner, is that forgiveness is not for the other person, it's for me. Forgiveness is a gift I give to myself. It's about freeing myself from the chains of past wrongs and allowing myself to move forward without being held back. Every time I forgive, I feel lighter, like I'm releasing a heavy weight from my heart. And in that space, I find room for something far more beautiful: gratitude. Gratitude for the people who love me, for the moments of beauty in my life, and for the peace I have found within myself. I no longer need to be surrounded by a crowd to feel fulfilled. The warmth of a few genuine relationships is more than enough. A study from the Greater Good Science Center at Berkeley showed that cultivating gratitude has tangible benefits for our health, reducing stress, improving cardiovascular function, and promoting overall well-being. Gratitude isn't just a nice feeling. It's a powerful remedy for both our bodies and our souls. Now, I make it a priority to avoid toxic people, steer clear of drama, and let go of grudges. I choose to focus on what truly matters: the relationships and experiences that nourish me and bring me joy. In making that choice, I've found a peace that I can't put into words, but I wish I had known it earlier in life. Letting go of the burdens, focusing on what's truly important, and embracing the beautiful simplicity of life have taught me the greatest lesson of all. True freedom comes when we stop holding on to what weighs us down and start cherishing what remains. And at my age, I finally understand what that freedom feels like. As we wrap up today's conversation, I want to take a moment to reflect on what we've learned together. We've talked about the importance of protecting our energy, how essential it is to invest it wisely, and how choosing gratitude and forgiveness can bring peace into our lives. These aren't just abstract ideas. They are powerful practices that can transform the way we live, especially as we get older. So, I'm curious, what have you learned so far? What's one thing you're ready to bring into your own life and put into practice? Please share it with me in the comments below. I'd love to hear how these insights resonate with you and what changes you're thinking about making. If you like this video, please leave your comment below, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Your support helps us create more meaningful content for you. Thank you for being a part of this journey with us, and I can't wait to hear from you in the comments.